So before we continue, I want to let you know those videos we made them just to share with you the knowledge or what we learned from installing and removing parts. So I want you to subscribe to the channel right now. Click on the bell notification to get all the videos on time and leave your question. We're gonna respond to them just after this video. So how we're gonna work on. All right, so again and again, guys, we got these 2007 Ford Mustang that came to the shop, and then the customers complaining that they were driving the car shut off on them. So they thought it was fuel. They go to a gas station and get gas and then add gas in it, so the car still won't start. So they told it to us. So we're gonna get inside the car and then see what the complaint is about. So like I always said, all right, so we got a crank no start. But listen, I know some people are gonna say that I'm gonna scan it, see what code that I have, so where to go, where to start. But me, I always tell you, so I'm gonna start with the simple stuff. The simple stuff mean what? So check if we got fuel, or the first thing when you crank the car, I always tell people, watch those gauge. If those gauges are moving up and down, that means you have crank signal. If you got RPM moving, let me let the key on. You can see the gauge going down. Let me do it again. You see the gauge going down. The gauge going down. That means we have crank and cam signal. That's simple stuff to do. So now the next step, we're gonna have to check to see if we got fuel and spark. The first thing, I will go with the fuel because the fuel is very easy. You can just remove a hose, spray some brake cleaner in it, and crank the car. So if it's not start, we're gonna go to the next step, which is the spark. So let's see what we're gonna do. We're gonna go on the front of the vehicle. So right here. So Abby, so we're gonna remove this hose right here. We're gonna spray some brake cleaner, and this hose, all you gotta do is just press those two tabs and pull it out. All right, like it just did. So we're gonna spray some brake cleaner. I'm gonna go back inside the car. We're gonna crank it. All right, ready? Okay. Here we go. So that's telling me that we got a fuel problem somewhere. So because the car is running. So now I know some people are gonna say that I'm gonna check the fuses, check the fuel pump relay, see if the fuel pump relay it's okay, swap the fuel pump relay, check the fuel fuse for the fuel pump. That's bullshit. Me, I'm gonna go straight to the fuel pump, check to see if we got power. Now, if I don't have power to the fuel pump, I'm gonna check the fuse, I'm gonna check the relay. But the first thing, I'm gonna check on the fuel pump connector to see what's going on in there. So, to go to the fuel pump, all you gotta do is bend those seat. You got a button where you can bend those seat. So we're gonna get this seat out. Maybe, can you pull this seat out? So, when you pull this seat out, I'm gonna show you so what to do. You got two locks. So one right here and one over there. So all you gotta do is just to press hard to them to get this lock release. Okay, so now we're gonna come to the fuel pump. We're gonna remove this cover. So on the fuel pump right here, you got a red tab that's lock it. All you gotta do is push it back. Once you push it back, you're just gonna press and then you're gonna remove this. Now, let's come with the reality. This one got 4 pins. I don't know if it's a pin 1, 2, 3, 4, but we got 4 pins. On those 4 pins, we're supposed to have power on 2 and then ground on 2. So with the key on, we're gonna have both power. So both power always gonna be there with the key on, and we're gonna have on one ground just to prime the pump to get fuel to the system. Now when you crank it, you're gonna have the second ground coming, so to keep the car running. So we're gonna use a power probe. Can you turn the key on? All right, so with the key on, we're gonna check this one first. So we got 13 volts. We're gonna check the second one. We got 11 volts, which is good. The third one, 0, nothing, not even ground. And the fourth one, we got the ground. So now we're gonna check the third one with the crank. Abby, can you crank it? All right, now we get the ground coming. So that's in telling me the system is working fine. All we need is a fuel pump. So it's as simple as that. We might take that off. All right, so now all I'm gonna do, call the customer and then tell them that they need a fuel pump to build this. It's easy to diagnose this car, right? So we're gonna see what the fuel pump process is, but now we know what's going on. So we're back to the fuel pump. So the first thing that we need to do, we need to disconnect this fuel line. You got two little tabs on each side of it. All you're gonna need to do is just press both at the same time. Like I said earlier, those two side tabs, you just have to push them in and pull this out. So when we get this out of our way, so now for the fuel pump, all you gotta do, make sure you look at this side. It's kind of up. That's means you're gonna have to spin it left to get it out. If you spin it right, you're gonna stack in there, because you can see this part are higher than this side. So all you're gonna need to do is like move it this way, so to get it out. I'm gonna do that right now. So as soon as you take this lock out, so now to get it out, there is another hose right here that goes on the sender unit. That's on the passenger side. You're gonna have to disconnect this. But this one, I think all you gotta do is just push this down and then pull it out. You see this little mark? You're gonna have to push it down, this green lock. Push it down, and after that, you're gonna take that off. I got it from AutoZone. Let me see if I can get you a part number in there. So it's B2137M. That's the fuel pump that we get. We're gonna open it, see what we get in there, compare it to see if they are same. Here you go. So sounds like they are same based on what I'm seeing. All right, so that's the hose for the other side of the fuel pump. Okay, so I'm just gonna install it. So I'm just gonna cut this, use a cutter plier to cut this out. Alright, we got the fuel pump nice set. So we're gonna put the cover back in. Alright, with the wire sealer nice and tight. So we're gonna go in front, try to crank the vehicle. Alright, so now we're gonna crank it to see what we got.